It's a really common thing to meet people, especially young people, that consider themselves activists.
With climate change and with sea level rise, we're going to really face serious challenges of ensuring both that the coast is protected as an environment and an ecosystem, and that we continue to ensure there's access. Those are already wicked problems, and they can't be solved by one agency.
It's so easy for individuals to feel like they don't matter, like they'll never be able to affect change. But I think the power of organizations is to provide the tools for everyday individuals to come and get involved and be a part of a community that is affecting real change right in their own backyard.
There's a lot of really serious pollution issues. We believe it's not just the work of environmental experts or scientists, but really residents who live here, whose health is impacted by the pollution here, who should be fighting for that change.
Even a little action can have a huge ripple effect.
That's the way change happens. It's the way change has happened since long before the Coastal Act, and will continue as far as we can see it, through the grassroots activism of ordinary people getting involved.
We're seeing more and more mobilization on the citizen level, and it's with the kids. It's the kids whose futures are threatened here. So they have more investment than anybody.
Every year, we take groups of kids up to Sacramento for Ocean Day as well as Parks Advocacy Day. And oftentimes their voices are the most powerful because they're coming at it from the excitement of knowing what it feels like to be out here. You can see how much it moves them when they're speaking to the Coastal Commission, for instance, and the commissioners sit up a little straighter in their chair because all of a sudden they're hearing this very powerful story about what coastal access can really do in terms of supporting a critical need like youth development or youth education.
We hope that in terms of all these programs that it is opening the eyes of the kids to look at the ecosystem and the social system in new ways.
We've brought, over the years, hundreds of young people from local high schools out here to do cleanups, and brought people out to some of the public meetings. We're doing focus groups in Spanish and Mixteco to get people involved. Now, in this generation, I think you're seeing maybe a new generation of environmental justice activists who are rooted in working class communities, immigrant communities, communities of color, who are really taking ownership of the environmental movement and bringing that grassroots activism to a new level to reach some new dimensions that maybe weren't always talked about before.
Communities of color have been doing environmental activism in their own kinds of ways that don't get recognized by mainstream white environmentalist movements.
The diversity of Californians that supports protecting the coast, spending money on protecting the coast, providing access, those are the voters of now and the future who will ensure that the mission of Californians embodied in the California Coastal Act survives and thrives into the future.
Can't win every battle, but people try to win battles for coastal access, to not allow the beach to be scooped up by private interests or people with more means. And that's benefit for all Californians.
There is a tendency, I think, sometimes for us to think we can kind of plan from the top down for environmental restoration, but you really have to do things from the bottom up and talk to the people that live here about what's going on in our own community.
Your actions matter, and you'll never ever know, you'll never be able to calculate your impact on the community around you. So just assume that what you do is being seen. Assume that what you do counts.